Hi! We did it.
We did it. Look at us.
Ah, okay. Let's get everything dialed in.
Okay.
My lighting.
I know. I was like covered in sand 5 seconds ago. I was like, okay, brush my hair, brush my hair.
Not sand.
Well, we had flag football today, and there was a little, I don't know if you want to say like spice going on with our team, but one of our teammates ended up leaving like halfway through the game.
Did you
So,
tackle them?
no, I was the one at the end, like defending them. I was like, look, I don't defend why they left, but I don't think we should talk to them. The reason they left is because one of the guys on our team was like yelling at him. And
God.
at the end, he was like, oh, it's not okay that what's his face left. And I was like, well, to be fair, I just don't think it's okay to just talk to each other like that, too. Like, not defending him for leaving, but like we are a team. And he starts like talking to me and his veins like popping out. And I was like, even in this moment right now, like you're getting a little spicy, you don't need to talk to me with your vein popping out. So it was just, yeah, it came down to, I mean, luckily with addiction and like recovery, we are pretty good at handling people that are like kind of crazy. So I was actually very calm and I was like, look, I'm not here to defend. I'm just saying, like, we've been on a team for a while. We don't talk to each other like this. So
We can do better.
we
Hi,
can do better.
Paige.
Oh, and this grown man, he goes, well, then I just won't be. I just don't need to be on the team. And I was like, is this really what we need to do? Like, I'm just trying to say, let's just not talk to each other like that. But
Good for
yeah,
you.
yeah, it was. And then when we were walking back, one of the other guys was like, that's 10 minutes of your life you're not going to get back, by the way. And I was like, well, if that happened to me, I would want somebody to say something. So.
Stand up for you.
Yeah, and his girlfriend's on the team and like I'm friends with her, so she had just walked away. And so I was
Mhm.
like and she was like, "Oh, Will's regretting leaving." So it's been an eventful little morning and I had donuts today. Whew. We're
Nice.
here. We made it.
Okay.
I'm glad we're here.
Can you see the chat of people talking?
I can. I see hi
Okay.
from Madrid. Oh, how cool. Hi from Madrid. Aloha. Natural face, good looking vibes. That's right.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Mochio Donuts, how long have you been in business?
Mochio Donuts. Okay, 2 years. I really want to say I've been in business. It's been about 2 years, but I want to say on my own without working about a year and a half.
And
So
where
yeah,
exactly are you stationed?
we're in Costa Mesa, so we have a commercial kitchen in Costa Mesa. So we deliver all throughout Orange County. We do events down in San Diego, up in LA. We're really kind of growing with the community. So
Yeah.
our commercial kitchen is in Costa Mesa, but we do have a pretty good little reach within Southern California.
Okay. Hi,
Yeah.
Crystalline. Oh,
Hello.
okay. Do you want to do 3 questions each, or do you want to talk more about your donuts?
I mean, I love conversational kind of vibe, but I'm for whatever. Hit me with questions, and you know me, my rambles. So,
I know we'll be here all day, folks. So go ahead and grab a drink. Crystalline, you're so nice. Thank you. Okay. So I can't add a poll, but I was gonna add one to this, but I guess you can't. Do you see an option for a poll?
I don't.
Okay.
I
There's
don't.
our answer. Um,
I see hearts flying everywhere, like pop, 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 pop.
Shots fired, but the good kind.
The good kind, please.
Okay. So what's your favorite thing about your social media for your business?
Favorite thing about it, I think. Well, when I started social media, definitely was not equipped, if I will. Like I kind of knew, but I kind of didn't. I think my favorite part that I've learned as I've gone is that there are so many unique ways to grow in it. I think you can
Yeah.
be like, once you find your niche, like comedy or whatever, I think that's kind of my favorite part. I think is that I've been learning as I go and to look back and to see like, okay, wow, what I've learned. I don't know if that's maybe my active favorite part. I don't know if that answers your question because it's a big world. It's a big world.
Especially on the internet.
Yes. Favorite, I mean, it's creative. It's a good creative outlet. I think it's really unique and cool that we live in a world where you can have a social media and grow a business. I started a donut company by selling a donut off a photo.
Yeah.
That and the fact that I like have a company based on that, I feel like shows the power of it. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What's your favorite social media for your business? Have
I
you
think
learned?
I think the favorite aspect of social media for me is that you're learning and then you're not like ever going to get in trouble for your mistake.
Oh, good one. Very true.
Like at work in a normal job, like you mess up, it's like, oh, but if you mess up on social media and like something just isn't right, you just do it again.
Totally.
So
Totally. And I've learned I've noticed like you're really good at social media. I always am like impressed by you. But one
thanks.
you're welcome. One thing that I've learned that you're better at than me is I've like shown you that I've been like editing a video and it'll take me forever, right? And
Yeah.
I'll notice like something's when it finally gets posted, like maybe it's not center, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's the video's not worth it, whatever. And you're really good at being like, no, it's done. That's the point. Like it's really and I
Yeah.
think that's powerful. I think if you get caught up in the little things, you can really get it becomes more of a challenge than it needs to be.
I mean, even like ads for Estee Lauder, like that
Mm.
people are doing with UGC, they're not like the beauty is in the imperfection of the ad.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. It's hard.
I mean,
Hey,
I always worry about my spelling because your girl can't spell the best. So
that's
I'll
what
be like,
ChatGPT is for.
I know, but when I put it into Canva, when I put it on the like, oh gosh forbid, I do like a cover photo, and you do like the wrong da da da, and then once that cover photo is created, it's so hard to take the cover photo down. So
The
it's a very
wrong your. As long as
yeah.
it's not the wrong your, I think you're out of jail. I
Okay.
think you can only go to jail for the wrong your.
Yes, that's fair. Well,
Hi,
then
Luke
I'd be
Cage.
in jail by now.
Arrested. Hi, Luke Cage. Hi, Tina. Okay. What's your favorite platform to post on? Given that now TikTok is our toxic ex because they're
Right.
threatening to leave again.
Oh my gosh, but we want them back. We can't live without them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say, well, my primary source is Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram from the beginning for me, I kind of almost regret that I didn't bleed out and just do the same post on different platforms, but it's a lot to manage just doing one. I think once you can get one that you really like and you're comfortable with, that's your driving, that's your vehicle, right? And then whatever you learn from that, you easily can like unload into these other platforms. So I found recently that Pinterest is something, that a platform I never really thought to use, and it's really easy to tie to your Instagram, and especially with like, I mean, maybe so much in my sense, but things I think about in the future, or like, new flavors, new menus, you can do those themed boxes and it sit on Pinterest, where when somebody needs like, I don't know, let's say Easter donuts next year,
Yeah.
or they just have like a bunny themed party and they type it in, you're at least still going to be in that search. So then that's exposure to your business. It's really nice when you can start to realize that everything does kind of bleed in. But I think having the solid platform of Instagram was my key.
Okay. Hi, Heather. Derek, I'm going to mute you soon. So be careful. Thanks. Heather, I'm
Okay.
glad you're here. Um, my favorite platform to post on was Instagram, but the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into that reel, because like my content is like day in the life. I
Right.
don't do the like trending ones where it's just you like driving your car and the caption is what's funny. Maybe that's what I should do to get 100,000 followers, but YouTube for the last year and a half has been my favorite one.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because I feel like YouTube is the Nordstrom of social media.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
And
it's
I
a
tried TikTok, but I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What? I
Yeah.
felt like I was at Walmart for the first time.
Well, okay, let's not hate on Walmart. Okay, when I first moved to Orange County, I was like, "You guys don't have a Walmart? What am I gonna do?" But I agree. I agree. I think YouTube is like this platform that we all kind of forget about, but it really is like so many people. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the Logan Paul brothers, right? But like they
Right.
started on YouTube, and like
Well,
it's
so
it's
did
like
Justin Bieber.
they and now they have like their own reality family show.
Yeah.
They're doing there's so much like of the world you can touch in YouTube, and you don't have to like play this algorithm lick. That's not a word.
Game, yeah.
Yes. Game. Instagram
Yeah.
in the beginning for me it was really great to find a catchy caption. I think if you have like different types of like food industry, that could be a platform, but I think for like yourself or even more leaning into like the day in the lives for myself,
Yeah,
YouTube is definitely I wish I would have invested more time into sooner, for sure.
for sure.
For sure.
Um, okay. So for anyone who is here and doesn't know, Rebecca and I don't drink
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
We retired. We went pro and retired early. Is
I
how
think
we
I
like.
came out of retirement once and tried again, but
You know what? So did that. So, it's fine.
many
Here we are.
basketball players have, and they regretted it too. So,
Here we are retired.
yes, gratefully, which I never thought I would say, to be honest. I never thought I would say I'm grateful to not drink, but it is something I'm grateful for. It's something that I never imagined either. I never
Yeah.
thought like once I got sober for X amount of days, I'll be good and then I'll be whatever and I'll get back into it. But once you get to a point of like really getting to the other side, they say there's that book We Are the Luckiest. I love that book.
Yeah, that was a good book.
And I really think I do feel that way. You and we, the people who don't drink, are the luckiest for being able to retire without an Achilles heel essentially torn forever or something worse, you know?
Hold on. Crystalline, the answer to your question is yes. Not today, but email me and then we can do a three, three. I don't want to say a three-way, but three-way call. There we go. Okay, so with that background knowledge, what's one thing you know now that you don't drink that you never would have known if you continued to drink as a young 30-year-old woman?
Let me say the question back to you while I process it. So, what do I know now that I don't drink that I never would have known while I was drinking?
Yeah, if you kept drinking, what's one thing like you never would have learned?
What I'm capable of. I think I would have never learned that I was capable of so much more. I think that's my real answer. I think that when you're drinking, you get in this cycle of life and of waiting for that 5 p.m., going on the cycle of the weekend. I watch it. I watch it every weekend with my flag football team. I watch it
Yeah,
everywhere. And it's honestly, I feel like we get caught up in the rat race of life. I think drinking is like a part of that. I think this type of
yeah,
routine that's so accustomed keeps you without realizing it in a ceiling of a room that you don't realize you're in. And I think when I removed alcohol, it really kind of opened it up, and it's something I think about often. I think
yeah,
I say the donuts saved my life. I think I've said that, but it took me a while to like truly like believe that too.
yeah,
Like I look back and I'm like, wow, if I hadn't gotten sober, if I hadn't done I wouldn't have this company. I wouldn't be living in
yeah.
this apartment. I wasn't I just yeah, what I'm capable of. I think you are capable of so much more once you stop drinking than you'll ever realize.
That was not what I expected you to say.
Really?
Well, like, okay, yeah, I expected you to say something like that, but like just those four words, had to count them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Was it a mic drop? Was it a Michael Jordan moment? Speaking of basketball. I
Was
mean,
yeah.
I think it's like, I mean, I'd love to hear your answer in this too. I think like there's so much that you fear. I let me Before you answer, let me just continue my little ramble here really quick. I think for drinking, that you don't realize while you're drinking too, is that it can get better. The feelings that you have or whatever, like you want to detach from, I still have some of those things that I have to fight, right? Like I have to
Yeah.
learn the reasons why I was drinking the way I was drinking. But I think even at a point of, it's so normalized in every part of every aspect. Baby showers, the woman who can't even have alcohol, it's full of alcohol. Like it's just, it's
Yeah.
everywhere. So you feel left out. And I think that fear is what holds a lot of people back. But I think once you get to this point of, wow, I can do so much, like you open yourself up to different people, different hobbies, different communities. And I think you find, for me, I found a version of myself I didn't know I still could find. So
Yeah. You leveled up.
Still leveling. We're hitting new levels. We're trying our best, right? That's all we can do. I mean, I'm not perfect. We're still
Yeah.
learning.
Yada Dada Do wants to know if we both have supportive partners. And to answer that question, we would be each other's supportive partners.
I guess, yeah, we are. I don't have any partners as far as like romantic partners, but we are supportive besties.
Yeah. Like I'm single
Yeah, I'm single.
happily.
Yeah.
And I don't, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That answered your question, Tina, hopefully. Wait, I don't remember who asked that.
I don't know either. But I
Okay.
want to know your answer. What about drinking have you learned that you would have not thought was possible to learn?
Um, hey, Jack, can you send me an email and then I can answer that question not in here? Because I think if somebody is looking for advice to quit
Mm.
drinking, they have to have a big enough why and then they have to figure out the how. Um,
Well,
but
can I chime in for a sec?
yeah,
I think when I hear this question a lot, especially I go into the recovery meetings here,
yeah,
and I hear that question often, how do I stop? How do I stop? And it definitely is like, you do need the why. You
yeah,
need to be the one to do it. And I think just downloading the apps, looking at the apps
yeah.
for AA, Alcohol Anonymous, getting a sober tracking app, getting something where you have it on your phone, even if you want to keep that private. For me, it took me a minute to be like, I don't drink. Like it took me a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not drinking right now. Oh, I'm doing hard 75 or 30 days January, whatever excuse. I think the way to stop is to start like really looking at if you're ready for sure.
Accountability with an app or a community or a meeting.
Community is key. You have to have, for me, I needed community in order to get sober.
Yeah. I forgot what the question was.
You were gonna do the what you've learned about, what do
I
you
think
know now that you don't drink that you would have never known while you were drinking?
that I was embarrassing.
Mm,
Like
that's fair.
I
Oh
think
my
about
gosh. Ugh.
like so the shame and the guilt and like all of that shit the next morning that
Mm.
you have, but like when I drank I would black out. So like how the level of shame that I had was without even knowing what the fuck I had done the night before. And had I known what I had done the night before, the shame would have been like tenfold. But like I see now like that I'm not drinking and I'm not throwing shade to anyone that does drink, but like when I would drink, I would go fucking hard and I would think it was cool to be unconscious and like laughing and like falling over and like spilling drinks and like I thought I looked good. No, I did not look good. It was no.
Mhm. Preach.
It was so not cute. And you would spend all this money to go to this concert and have this outfit and have this experience. And then, like, you're just fucking sloppy the whole time and you're spending $20 on a drink and you don't just have one. And, like,
Well, you pregame too.
yeah.
Well,
So you're just like
yeah.
purging all this money to have this experience that you're not even experiencing and you're embarrassing yourself. So that for me has been something like I never would have known
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Because I
That's a
was
good.
always the drunkest one.
Not always, but
Well, okay,
I hear
like,
you. I hear you. I'm giving you some grace though. But yeah. No, that's a good.
yeah,
That's very true. It's one thing I'll never forget. I went to a 4th of July party when I first got sober, and it was like me just trying to still be around the crowds that like I didn't want to miss out. It was 4th of July. I looked good, and I was like, I can go. I'm gonna be sober. Like, da, da, da. I'll never forget that I saw people's faces change from the beginning of the party
yeah,
to the other half of the party, and it was a lot of females faces, like, and like it's just like it changes, like it's, and I look
yeah.
back at myself at videos of when I was drinking, and I just like I my face changed too, and it's like one of those things where you don't realize it at all when you're drinking. You're looking in the mirror and you're like, this is my best fucking look.
Yeah.
But but then you look at the video sober and you're like, not my best look, not my best look.
You're like, delete, don't share. Thank you.
I think Tina has a question for me. My name is Rebecca. I saw somebody asking a question earlier or about my name is. So I'm Rebecca. I live in Orange County. I have Mochio Donuts. It's a mochi donut company that was really rooted in sobriety, if I'm being honest. So
Yeah.
happy to answer any questions. Do you see any that I am missing?
Jack, I don't know what to tell you. But if you want to have a conversation, not during this live, we can probably arrange that. But Tina, did you have chicken on biscuits? Are you okay?
Oh, people are crazy. Well, I will say though, going just kind of until I see a question pop up that's answerable, to go back to kind of what we were discussing, and anybody too like that is in this chat. Yeah, no hate on drinking. I know you said that earlier. I know plenty of people. I have no problem. I know it's interesting when you get sober. There are some people that feel uncomfortable around you. Like, should I
Yeah.
drink? Should I not? I'm one of those people, it doesn't bother me. But maybe I have heard in the rooms that there are people that it does bother. So it's really kind of, hit or miss as far as
It
how everyone
depends,
around you is. Yeah.
like, on the circumstance too. Like, if you're going to a Super Bowl party, you kind of know what you're signing up for. But if you're going to, like, have someone over,
Yeah.
it's a little different.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll go to our next question. Are you ready?
Yes.
April, I'm sure you have goals, but what
Yeah.
is either your biggest one or the one that's most important that you accomplish this month?
Ooh, okay. Gosh, I'm one of those people that I could tell you a million goals I have this month, but if it's really coming down to what I think is going to happen, not as big of a list. I think one of the biggest goals that is happening this April is we're adding a leg to the business. It's this catering business, and we just got booked for a 1-year-old birthday. And in Orange County, it's kind of a little bit of a more affluent area, so the parties are a little bit more. You've seen those celebrity parties that are just like they have like horses in one area and stations and whatever. Well,
Especially for a 1-year-old party.
yes, right. Like, so I have this little donut. We're doing this little pop up and it's all berry themed and it's more for the adults. I'm excited because we're doing like a mood board with the menu. And
Ooh.
it's kind of like the first kickoff to starting this leg of the business. And it's exciting because it's, a celebratory thing. It brings back into my like customer service side that like I have way too many years experience in. So it's just, it's kind of able to bring something that I've had in my mind that I've been able to build up. And now we're kind of putting, I don't want to say pen to paper, but it's really starting to happen. So I think like that goal and watching it not only start the beginning of this month, but by the end of this month, we'll have one event down, is like, it is like a drum roll celebration.
So the next chapter for your business is come to fruition.
Yes. I mean, it's definitely, I feel like I'm on the last page of the last chapter, and like I keep like,
Yeah.
like it's right there. So that's exciting. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yes. And social media, right? Like getting back into YouTube, I think being able to be a little bit more, there was a, here I go rambling. There was a point. There was a point where, speaking of alcohol and addiction, mental health got in the way of growing this business. And like,
Yeah.
I really wasn't sure, is this something I can really do? I took naive business mistakes, like hiring an employee and it costing me too much money, all these little
Yeah.
things as reflections of me and my capabilities.
Yeah.
And that we all have mental health struggles, right? Like, I'm human. I don't know what I'm doing every day, but I know that I'm trying. And I feel like this leg of the business coming to fruition is really scary, but at the same time it's like, wow, this is something that I've really hoped, and it's something like I'm really excited. I know it's going to be really big. So
Do you think that the potential of success is scary because it's something that you've never had before?
oh yeah, absolutely, it's something that I self-sabotage because, girl, I mean, I didn't have the best little growing up. We always kind
Yeah.
of were, it's just, it's not the prettiest story. So I think that I've never really touched my biggest success. I thought in life was going to be with the statistics of how my life was looking to be, and like growing up in a house full of addiction, and being on my own since I was 17. I thought my biggest accomplishment was going to be graduating college, being the first person in my family to go to college, and I ended up doing that. And I ended up getting and I ended up getting 2 degrees. And it's crazy. I recently realized, when I went to college, I had to take an extra term of English because I have dyslexia. And so like when I tested into college, I had to like start really low. Well, because of that, I ended up being able to get 2 degrees. So it's kind of like a weird, like, I was so ashamed in the beginning of college. I was drinking. I was, just kind of getting, I was embarrassed. And it's like a struggle that like really came to be like something really cool and positive that not a lot of people can say, like, oh, I got
Yeah.
double majored. And I thought that was going to be my biggest accomplishment. So then to like get to this business and be able to like watch things happen, yeah, like, we're learning as we go. And it's something that, because of I've removed drinking, I've been able to really kind of like have that like realization, like, no, you deserve this success. Like, you, like, let that be a part of the story.
Yeah.
Like, this is not, yeah, I ruin it sometimes because I get in the way because it's an uncomfortable fear. I don't want to build something to then lose it all. I've built it to this, and I've
Yeah.
never reached this before. So why I don't want it to get here? That's a bigger crumble. So I'm
You
really
stay where
afraid.
it's safe.
Yes, I try to stay where it's safe. Absolutely. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. That's how we got to that. We started here. We went
You know
there.
that like plane that's like flying over the Bermuda Triangle? That's Rebecca.
It is. And but I make sense, I think. I think.
Sense has been made for sure.
Yes. Well, any other questions that I've missed in here when here in business? Yes, it's true. There is no chapter, it's just the next page. That's true. It's very
Ryan, where do you sign up for what, sir? Someone said
advisory.
that at least we're not at a protest. Well,
Okay.
my avatar robot, when I can have one of those. I wonder. I wonder when we're gonna get that rolled out. Anyway, okay, so we'll wrap it up and you guys can ask questions in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
Smoke weed instead.
I,
Okay, Snoop Dogg.
California sober is a thing. It is.
Tina says that you absolutely deserve the success. So
Oh,
maybe
thanks,
like
Tina.
screenshot that, put that on your mirror.
Yeah.
Rebecca,
Hey, Alyssa, I mean, you're doing great too. Let's pause here. Alyssa, you have learned social media and like learned things and taught me many things. You're very impressive. So,
all the information is out there, but like I saw something and it was like, you're not, so I don't remember, but like basically it was saying how like you're unique and that's what the internet would need because the reason you follow someone, it all boils down to like you like that person. But then also I'm like, oh, so it's a popularity contest, but like it's different, but but anyway,
well,
my
wait.
biggest
Well, go ahead. I was just gonna say, when you watch a show like Friends and you find who you
your
relate to
person
one, your
is,
person.
yeah,
Yes. So it's kind of like that. Maybe not
yeah,
popularity, but you look for things like, oh my God, that's what I do too. Or did you see this person? That's so you, you know?
yeah. Friends.
Yes.
Okay, I'll channel my inner friend. Um, I think my biggest goal for April is I I will make X amount of money from this. Like whether it's a UGC, whether it's
I'm
thanks
watching.
Tina, same time next week. Um I the fruits of my labor, like I'm exhausted at not getting them cuz like I'm raising young kids and
Yeah.
it's like I give and I give and I give and like I don't get, which is the chapter that we're in. And then social media, like I give and I give and I give and I edit and I give and I don't get. And then at work, like I give and I get paid not enough.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for specific avenues of income through my creation. And so in April, I will make X amount of money. And then I have that checklist where I'm like checking off
Yep.
when a video hits a certain number or when I hit a certain amount of subscribers. So I'm really going to dial into specifics. And like my next one on YouTube is reaching 2,000 subscribers and going from there.
That's good. Do
Yeah.
you find that a visual goal on something that you look at helps you for like having these goals, like as far as your social media numbers? Like I have post-it notes.
Yeah. I think if you don't write it down, you're not setting the intention for you to do what it takes to get there. Because if you're like, "Oh, I need to remember this," I write it down, but then you write it down and you like don't forget it, You like it's something about putting pen to paper
Yeah.
that solidifies it in your head.
No, I think that's chemically true. I've heard it somewhere.
Chemically, it's
It's
science.
science. So
It's
I've
science.
definitely heard it in a podcast. There is some
Yeah.
truth to that, like
Yeah.
neurally.
Yeah. So I think and then like it's so satisfying to just
It is. It is. I am on the other end though. I think you're so skilled in like organization and that I'm the person that will write it and then I'm not the best at going back and doing the check. So that's where I have like sticky notes and like goals and things, but if I write a list, I write the same list so many times. It's crazy.
for you, go to Home Goods, get a really cute glass jar, and
Mhm.
then every sticky note that you accomplish, put in that jar.
Oh, I love this.
And then at the end of the year, sit
I,
down with your jar of accomplishments.
that's pretty cool. Okay, wait, I will do this.
Okay,
Okay,
so
next we'll update you next week with my jar.
yeah, even at the end of every month, you could like get the small post-its and then like
Yeah.
get super, super specific with the goal.
Oh my gosh,
And
my
then
handwriting.
it's fine, Rebecca. We can
Hopefully
like,
no one else reads my goals because they're gonna be like,
no,
what does
you
this
can
say?
read them to us. We'll let that happen.
Read aloud. We just went over this. I have dyslexia. I'm feared.
We'll figure it out.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, we will figure it out. This was good. I'm glad we did this. I'm happy to do this again. I'd love to.
Same place, same time.
Oh my gosh, I'm available. What?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, as always, thanks everyone for being here.
Yes.
And one day we're going to have a poll, and you guys are going to have to guess how we met. And for now, make sure you subscribe to. Is your YouTube handle Mochio Donuts?
Yes.
Are you sure there's no underscores?
No underscores.
Okay. So everyone now needs to subscribe to Mochio Donuts. And then, of course, me if you're not. And Rebecca and I are probably going to go to Home Goods now.
Subscribe.
Bye.